Islam Dwayne Bey. It is October the 23rd, and I'm at Whole Foods. It's early in the morning, approximately 7:45 a.m., and I'm going to the social services to turn in my application for continuation of food stamps. But I stopped to get a cup of coffee. This is going to be my cup of coffee for this month. So I'm probably going to have 2 cups of coffee in 30 days. So it's been it's been 30 days. The last 30 days I had 4 cups of coffee. 2 in 2 days. So it equals to 4 cups of coffee in 30 days. This is going to be, my goal is to only have 2 cups of coffee for this 30 days. And so what I'll probably do is drink this cup of coffee and then get another cup, and that'll be it for the next 30 days. And what I'm about to do is do an ancestral prayer over my coffee, but also to the universe and the earth about protecting my ancestral line in accordance to the Holy Bible, Matthew 13. So I was about to do it, but then I thought about it. I said I'm going to do this and show it to you because this is important. Because I feel like I know I'm communicating to the universe in protection of our ancestral lines. Keep it as we cleanse ourselves from the spirit of harm, which includes rape, murder, theft, bondage, all these unclean spirits that are passed on in different lines of consciousness where you're not aware of because you haven't taken the time to understand reincarnation. So what I'm doing is praying over my ancestral line, because those, as we cleanse ourselves from these unclean spirits, they also can be bred through forced slave breeding back into your line. So that's in correlation to Matthew chapter 13. So Islam, Allah, thank you for waking me up this morning. Allah, I give honor and praise to you, Allah, for keeping my mind at peace. Allah, giving me the spirit to not cause harm, having the spirit to not cause harm, even when I am being spiritually attacked or I'm experiencing harm. Trusting in the divine prophecy of cleansing, trusting in divine prophecy of natural cleansing that the earth and the universe is doing. Thank you, Allah, for protecting my ancestral line as we continue, as I continue, Imani Great-Bey continue, I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey continue to cleanse our ancestral line, our consciousness from all unclean spirits. That includes rape, murder, bondage, thievery, and all spirits of harm that have contaminated the spirit of Mother Earth and the universe, and that are forcefully passed down in different ancestral lines without our knowledge. Thank you, Allah, for giving me sight of Matthew chapter 13 and seeing that divine prophecy, those divine spells in the Holy Bible that is meant for Hebrew Muslims, Moorish Americans to use for protection as this divine cleansing and extermination, complete extermination of all unclean spirits are happening. Amen. So as I was doing that, my eyelashes were jumping up. So that's usually when that happens. An unclean spirit is invading my mental space as I pray. And so it's they've been doing it, causing people to get in financial disease, sickness, so they can be recycled in the medical system. So the medical systems that are created for profit and not healing. There are 2 types. There are medical systems that are created for healing, and they would never use unclean spirits to send sharp pains to attack the mental space, abuse the science of telepathy. Usually, and there are those that medical systems that actually have them working in the hospitals, and you can only imagine what goes on there. And so they use these unclean spirits to send sharp pains, forcefully cause dis-ease mentally, which can cause someone to be in financial dis-ease and make decisions that are not healthy for them as they are trying to live their life as productive American citizens. So this is in correlation to why the U.S.A Constitution, not the U.S.A Constitution, why the United States is not considered civilized in reference to health. And almost all statistics is so low. It's some statistics say 35, where other nations that are supposed to be I should say civilized nations, not considered third world, are high above the United States. So that's my correlation and my thoughts to that. So so I am going to social services today. Imani received this letter from from the DMV stating that Homeland Security was doing a check on ID, and his name, Imani, was not printed on the paper correctly. It said Imani Gray, Imani Zabrel Gray, not Imani Zabrel Gray -Bey, which is his ancestral name. And this was done through the court system because we went through the circuit court with the supporting documents of Moorish Science Temple of America to do so. And then we went to the DMV, we went to the Social Security office and had the Social Security card corrected. Then we went to the DMV and had our marital state ID corrected with our ancestral name of Bey. And now we're in the process of amending our birth certificate. So when that letter came yesterday, it had Imani Gray and not Imani Gray Bey. And then it kept stating real ID. So that was not correct, and we don't understand why it wasn't correct, because when you're doing things in a lawful manner, you're under a de jure government, not corporate, so that means you're not being used by a foreign entity, then you follow the de jure constitution, and you do things in a lawful manner. But when you are operating and someone else is using you, a foreign entity, when you are operating under unlawful manners, illegal, then you do things that are corrupt and unlawful. And this is the great thing about documentation, Islam. So it's October the 23rd, 2019. I'm going to social services once again to continue my food stamps. And it's important that I do that, and I'm going to document because there's been issues with that. And the thing is, the letter state Homeland Security was doing a check, and yet the letter and his name was incorrect. Okay, so that's why we're going to correct that on Friday. As I said that, you hear pale skin talking and someone with an African accent talking at Whole Foods. As I'm speaking about this, I'm feeling a sharp pain in my anus, Islam. And I usually do feel that when remarkably, is when those that seem to imply to represent the United States Navy and Army are around, or some form of government that haven't taken an oath or affirmed to uphold the Constitution of 1787, Abraham Lincoln's proclamations in the 13th Amendment 20 sections. Not all the time, but a lot of times when those entities that are being used by a foreign entity is around, that means they haven't taken an oath or affirmed to uphold these divine laws of freedom, then I might experience spiritual attacks, as Imani Gray -Bey and I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey, are in the process of true naturalization, Islam. I mean, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 of the Constitution.